If you are working in pharmaceutical industry, irrespective of any department or any job responsibility you are having, the knowledge of compliance and regulatory inspection is must, because inspections are nothing but the new business opportunities for any of the company. And if you are contributing in the growth of the organization, in the business of the organization, then only you will be able to prove yourself that you are the asset for the organization. So if any of the responsibility you are having, but you are working in pharmaceutical industry, who is facing the regulatory inspections, who have faced regulatory inspections, or who is going to face the regulatory inspection, you should be having the knowledge of compliance and regulatory inspection. In this Blue Ocean of Compliance series, every week I make an informal talk for you. I record few thoughts and experiences based on which you can have the value addition in your career and you can grow in your organization, because after watching this regularly, there will be the drastic change in your thought process. There will be improvement the way you are working, and CGMP guidances which are discussed will be on your fingertips. In our life, we always prefer to associate with the people who are trustworthy, on whom we can blindly trust, and there is not any difference between what they are speaking and what they are doing. Similarly, in pharma industry also, all the guidelines and regulations are based on this simple concept only. As per that concept, whatever data we are presenting during the audit or inspection, that data should be authentic. There should not be any data integrity. And for that, there are different regulations. And 21 CFR Part 11 is also helping in to achieve that goal. How? So today we are going to discuss about 21 CFR Part 11. This regulation is for electronic documents, electronic records and electronic signature. Today I am going to discuss few things in this program Blue Ocean of Compliance. I am Dr. Rupali, author of book Blue Ocean of Compliance. This book is bestseller on Amazon, and in this book I have written many elements which are not visible, means which are not written, but you can feel those elements, and if you will work on those elements, you will achieve the high level of compliance on your site, and you can solve many non-compliance problems if you will apply those principles on your site. To understand that what Blue Ocean of Compliance and what are the Blue Ocean of Compliance tips, and to change your thinking process, or in fact to develop the new style of thinking, do not miss to read this book Blue Ocean of Compliance, and also subscribe my YouTube channel, because on this channel every week I am preparing one informal talk for you which will help you to keep the CGMP regulations on your fingertips, and this will be very different way, and you will remember easily, and if you will apply on your site, you can solve many non-compliance problems and achieve the high level of compliance on your site, and you can face the regulatory inspections effortlessly if you apply those principles. Only knowing and not doing is equal to not knowing, right? Because whenever many times you might have heard, when auditor gives the observations, the people say, oh yeah, we already know this, but only knowing is not going to help you. After knowing, you have to take the actions to fill those gaps, then only this will be effective and it will work. So let's discuss that what is 21 CFR part. This is the regulation prepared by the USFDA for the electronic records and electronic signature. This 21 CFR part 11 is applicable to those computer and software systems which are related to generation of the documents or documentation. Computer systems are related to CGMP activity. For example, in your quality control lab, there is HPLC, and that HPLC is used to analyze the data or batches which are going to be sent to USFDA market, or those batches are the part of batches which are going to be sent to the US market. So though that HPLC will have to be 21 CFR Part 11 compliance. Similarly, if you have GC, you have HPLC, you have particle size analyzer, and KF means Carl Fisher, or any instrument on which you analyze the batches which are sent to US market, or they are related to your submission, and they are part of your commercial batches which are you going to sell in the US market. So on all those instruments, the 21 CFR Part 11 will be applicable. There are few things you have to remember, that how you will know that 21 CFR Part 11 is applicable on that, and what things you have to keep in mind. There are a lot of practices which are to be followed, but few important tips I am going to discuss in this blue ocean of compliance tips. First is that only authorized persons will be given the access to the computer systems. People who are authorized to work on that computer systems, those people must be identified, and the people who are part of the 21 CFR Part 11 documentation and records, those people must be given the training. They should have the experience, or any of the combination of this. So they must be provided the training, because if you will not provide the training, then how they will know that what is to be done and how the regulations are to be followed. Access to be provided to the people who are authorized to use that system. Okay, this is first thing. Another thing is that every authorized person should be given the unique username and password. For example, if there are 5 people working on 21 CFR Part 11 instrument or equipment, right? There should be 5 user login or username and 5 passwords, means different passwords. Think that passwords should not be shared to anyone. Okay, for example, if any analysis is going on and that person is not in the company and something happens urgently, you need login to be done in that person's login. So what you will do? Whether you will ask the person, you will call that person that please provide me the password and I can operate and solve that problem. So whether this is correct? No, this is not correct. So password should not be shared. Another thing is that there should be policy for the company, and everyone must be accountable to follow that policy. Next is that the people who are working on that software systems should have their unique signature, electronic signature, and there should be proper procedure for the identification of the electronic signature. 21 CFR Part 11 is applicable to the documents which are equally treated to be like the paper documents. For example, you are going to take the chromatograms from the HPLC, so you can see that on that the username is there, so you can identify that particular user has integrated that chromatogram, particular analyst has performed that analysis. So these things you should always keep in mind. Another thing is that if anyone is working on any computer system, so please make sure that audit trials must always be on, should always be enabled. So audit trial, you can see that who has performed that activity, when the activity was performed, and what was the reason, and all the details you will get from the audit trial. So in this way you will be able to ensure the integrity of that document. So in this way 21 CFR Part 11 you have to follow. So these are the things help you to ensure that the documents are authentic and there is not any data integrity, and you can trust those electronic documents for CGMP purpose. Finally, the purpose of all these activities is that the patient should get the good quality of the medicine. There should not be any data integrity. There should not be any manipulation. So 21 CFR Part 11 is applicable to the systems which are related to CGMP. And also keep in mind that whenever you are providing access to any person on the CGMP computer systems, so user rights should be defined. For example, if any analyst is performing his or her task on the 21 CFR Part 11 compliant instrument, so analyst rights will be different, and if any manager is going to perform any activity of the review, then managers rights will be different, reviewers rights will be different, administrators right will be different, and if any engineer comes to solve any problem, so in that case his rights will also be different. So all these rights must be defined in the SOP. Okay, you might have got some idea about what are the things to be followed in 21 CFR Part 11 compliance documentation. There are many things which are to be followed, but these are the main things. Remaining things we will be discussing in our next episode of Blue Ocean of Compliance Tips. Please write the comment that what you have liked and what additional videos or talks you want on different topics. I personally read all your comments, whatever you are writing after watching the video, and if it is relevant, then I am taking action on that also. So please write your comments after watching this video, and also suggest that what new topics you want to discuss. Please read my book Blue Ocean of Compliance. This book is going to help you to develop the systems so that you will be always ready to be inspected anytime, because old systems and strategies to prepare the regulatory inspections may not work, because at the last moment preparation of the inspection is not beneficial for anyone, not personal life or not professional life, and also not beneficial for the patient also, and it is not good for the society also. So we should always be ready to be inspected at any time. When it will be possible? When we will always be in compliance, when we will always work in compliance, we will always follow the regulatory guidelines, and guidelines but nothing. They are the minimum standards which are to be followed if we want to manufacture the good quality of the medicines. And you, me, and any of the person in the world has a right to have the good quality of the medicines. For that reason, ready to be inspected anytime, this thought process is very helpful, and this book is going to help you to set those systems, and might be possible you will be facing problem to convince the people to be in compliance. So how to convince them, that also solution you will be getting in this book, and you will be avoiding the 492 483s if you read this book. And many non-compliances are discussed in this book, and how to solve those problems, that is also discussed in this book. And in Blue Ocean of Compliance Tips, I discuss with you, this is informal talk, and I share with you based on my experience. Means you will get the guidelines, but whatever I discuss with you, that I have personally experienced on the site, and that's why I am going to share with you, so that you will read the book and you will listen to this talk. It will be complementary to each other, and you will be able to be benefited with these talks, and you will be able to get the compliance on your site. With this, Dr. Rupali Paranjape signing out until we meet again in our next show of Blue Ocean of Compliance Tips. Thank you.